the voiceover video. If you feel uncomfortable, then you can mute it. It's a boy and boy fan fiction. If you're homophobic, kindly leave. Remember, it's just a fan fiction. Don't take it serious. And if I do any mistake in voiceover, then please forgive me. Tiredness. How does it feel when you are tired of the things you love? That's what's happening with me. I've never imagined that life will turn like this. I don't know why it's happening, but it's tiring me. I'm somewhere feeling that it was my biggest mistake to take this step. Step to marry Yoongi. Was he always like this or he changed? I don't know and I don't want to think this way, but I cannot help. We are sitting in the dining room having breakfast. He's all silent. Silent like he cannot even see me or I just don't exist. Are you thinking it was an arranged or forced marriage? No, it was love marriage. We both loved each other a lot. We were in a long distance relationship for almost 2 years, as when we get into relation, he went abroad to pursue a business cause. But we loved each other a lot. Now, when I feel either he never loved me or he changed when we were away. It's been almost 3 months of our marriage and he didn't even talk to me properly. Can you believe we sleep in different rooms, as on our first night he said that. I thought he needed time to adjust, but no, I was wrong. He finished his meal and stood, took his plate, went in the kitchen and washed that. This is what he does. He makes food for us and do everything but doesn't even look at me. Am I not visible to him? Then he left in his room and came out with his bag and car key. I also washed the plates and came when he was about to leave. Yoongi? He turned without saying anything. Can you drop me to university? He hummed and left outside. I again sighed and went to take my bag. We sat inside the car beside each other. It was silence in the car. Neither of them was saying anything. Jimin once glanced at Yoongi, but his eyes stopped on his face. He felt like go and hide in his embrace. He just remembered the first time they hugged when Yoongi left abroad and the second time when he came back. Can you stop staring at me? Jimin looked away from him. I wasn't staring at you. I was just thinking about something. Just think about your studies. I'm focused on my studies. You don't need to tell me. Good grades will help you getting a good job. But you said we'll work together after I complete my studies? But would you really work in my restaurant? Is there any problem if I work around you? Ani, why would I be having any problem? Because it seems like. Yoongi went silent after that and soon they reached Jimin's college. Jimin came out of the car and straight went inside without saying anything. Yoongi sighed and also left Jimin to walk towards his class. Hey Jimina! Oh, hi Hobyong! What happened? You seem upset? You know very well, don't you? Yoongi, huh? He's still the same? I don't know what's wrong with him. He doesn't talk much, doesn't even look at me, only talks when he has to say something. Why don't you ask him politely? I mean, go on a date with him and ask if something is bothering him? That's a problem, Young. He doesn't even tell anything. He's okay if we talk about other things, but whenever I ask about love, he pushes me away. Is he having any affair with someone? What? I'm just assuming. I don't want to think about him. Sometimes I think I married a wrong person, or he's not actually the person whom I knew. He's totally opposite. Don't worry, Jimina. We'll find anyway. For now, just focus on your studies, okay? He rested his hat on Hobie's shoulder and sighed. Where are Jungkook and Tai? Must be coming. Just then they heard a noise on the door of the room. Both frowned while standing up and walked towards the door and found 2 girls. One was standing lowering her hat, but another was frowning in anger. Hobie knew both the girls and asked, "What's happening here, Heji?" Asked the stupid girl. She's literally blind. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bump into you. I was just passing by here. Don't you think you're talking too much, not? I'm sorry. The girl bowed while whispering lowly. My headphones broke because of you. Do you think your sorry will work, Kim Bayan? I'm sorry, I'll buy you a new one. New. Do you know the cost of these headphones? You cannot buy them even if you work for your whole life, you pathetic skint. Enough, Reggie, he said in a stern voice. Just bumped into you. Not like she killed you. And the real Brock here are you if you cannot buy new headphones. But you learn to respect others first. He spoke while clenching his jaw. Anyone could say he was angry as it was clear on his face. Are you the serious Hosok? You're taking stand for this hoodie girl. Her name is Van, Kim Van. Van was surprisingly looking at him with her doe eyes. And yes, I'm taking stand for her and I'm telling you politely to not mess with her ever again. Got it? I'll see you later. She left, whispering from there while stomping her feet on the ground. Are you alright? He finally asked her, gazing at her. Yes, thank you for helping me again. She spoke slowly while bowing to him politely. It's nothing. You don't need to get afraid of anything. Yes, fine. You don't need to worry. Hobie is always here for you. Ain't you, Hyun? He said, looking straight in Hobie's eyes, and only Hobie knew what Jimin has in his mind at that time. I should leave now. Thanks for your help. She politely bowed one time and immediately left. Hobie gazed at Jimin with his dun eyes. Why you said that? I didn't say anything wrong though. You actually care for her, then why don't you ask her out? Like it's easy. Ashong, you're crushing over her for so long. You should at least talk to her. She is not like others, Jimin. You don't know anything about her. Oh, you know. Not everything, but I know. She'll think I'm doing it all out of pity. You overthink, Young. Whatever. Let's just sit in the class. On the other side, one point of view. I walked out of there and came in my class, set my bag on the table. I sat when a sigh left my mouth unconsciously. I don't know for how long I'll be like this. Should I just move on? He helps me every time doesn't mean he really cares about me. I really don't know how to make myself understand that he does it out of pity. It's not the first time he helped me. I still remember that day when I was heading to bus stop after my part-time job. Flashback, one point of view. I walk towards the bus stop. Sometimes I feel so tired working all day, but it's the only option I have. I have to pay the bills for my grandma's treatment and my college fees. That's why these part-time jobs are needed. Those scholarship help a little, but it's necessary to meet daily expenses. I looked around. It's already night. I should walk fast. I cannot miss the bus. I was walking fast but fell as I bumped into a guy. It took me some seconds to realize that my ankle got twisted. I looked up and found two boys looking at me. I gulped as I can sense something bad. I tried to stand but failed. Why are you bothering yourself, girl? Let me help you. He crouched down at the ground near me and tried to touch my thighs, but I jerked off his hand. Don't touch me. Angry bird, huh? Don't worry. We know how to calm girls like you. The boy sat on another side of mine and tried to hold my hand, but I hit him with my bag and sprayed the spray in their eyes, and they groaned in pain. I took the chance and hit them again with my bag. I tried to stand, but one of the boys held my leg tightly. You bitch, do you think you can run? She tried to free her leg and tried to kick on his face with another leg, but the other boy held it and she felt a sharp pain in her ankle as it was twisted earlier. A fear took over her as soon as the boy held her leg. She felt so blank right at the moment. The boy tried to hold her hand. Just then she found he fell on the ground beside her. She looked up and found a person there whom she never imagined. It's Obi. She felt relieved as soon as he kicked the other guy, but the boys got up and ran from there. Her eyes were already glittering due to the tears threatening in her eyes. Are you okay? He asked worriedly, crouching down in front of her. She nodded when tears left her eyes. Don't need to be afraid. They already left. Thank you. It's okay. Let me drop you to your home. Annie, I'll go. Thanks for helping me. Don't worry, I'm not gonna harm you. I'm Jung Ho-suk. I know. You do? We study in the same college. Oh, so you know. Thanks for your help. She tried to stand but felt a sharp pain again. She held her ankle, hissing in pain. Seems like you have sprained your ankle. Can you poop on my back? Huh? She looked at him with wide eyes. I'm asking you to hoop on my back, Miss Fan, not to wide your eyes. She was just blankly looking at him. Hobie put her bag on her lap and once looked in her eyes before picking her up in his arms in a bridal style. Her eyes widened more when he picked her up. Her hands automatically wrapped his neck. What are you doing? Since you didn't left anyway. He started walking. I can walk. Please put me down. I'm taking you to my car. I know it must be paining. Your car? Don't you want to go hospital? It's not that serious. Just take me to the medical store nearby. Started walking again with a straight face. It's giving me tickles in my stomach. I never felt this way before. I cannot believe he's holding me in his arms. The popular guy of a college who didn't even know we studied in the same college is helping me. I know he's doing it because of my condition, but I cannot help getting butterflies in my stomach. Soon he made me sit on the bench and asked me to wait there. After some minutes he came and sat crouching down near my feet. I looked confusedly at him but startled when he touched my feet. What are you doing? He looked up at me, but I gulped as it was feeling really awkward because we just met some minutes ago and his actions are making me confound. Let me treat it. It will hurt a little but will get better. Just hold on to my shoulder. Vine gripped Hobie's shoulder with her hand. He removed her shoe and looked carefully at her foot and twisted it in one go. Then he sprayed the pain relief spray on her ankle and covered it with a bandage. Done. He sat and stood there. It's really nice of you helping a stranger like that. Are we strangers? I mean you don't know me. Who said I don't know you? How wouldn't I know the topper of her college? Vine couldn't say anything as she looked at him in the eyes. Well, let's go now. Where? Don't you want to go home? Yes. I need to go take the bus. The bus must have left. Let me drop you. Honey, I'll go by myself. It's not a biggie. You already helped me. I don't want to bother you anymore. You're not in a condition to go by your own. Let me drop you. My house is in an alley. It's just okay. Let's go. Your parents must be worrying about you. She sighed and both left. Flashback end. That day, he came to know about me, my grandpa, and maybe my struggle with life. He's kind and so helpful, but my heart isn't stopping falling for him, knowing the reality. Today, when I saw him with his friend, I realized that maybe those rumors about them dating can be true. The way they are always with each other says a lot. I seriously don't want to come in between them. Sleep at night. Jimin went in the kitchen and started looking for some ingredients to make dinner as Yoongi is late. Yoongi is the one who always cooks. Jimin knows how to cook, but as Yoongi is expert in cooking, so he told Jimin to not to cook or work and just focus on his studies. I don't know what's actually happening. He used to say he was studying business, and when he came, he opened his restaurant. He never told me he wanted that. He used to tell me to learn cooking, but now cooks himself for us. What's wrong with him? He's totally opposite of what he used to say. I heard the door unlocking sound. It must be him. I peeked a little from the kitchen and saw him coming. Suddenly I felt a burning sensation on my hand. Ouch! Shit! Jimin groaned as his hand burned. His groan was enough loud to hit Yoongi's ears. He immediately ran towards him and held his hand. Shit! You burned it! He immediately turned on the water tap and let Jimin's hand soak in the water so it won't burn. After a while, he turned off the tap and looked carefully at his hand. Let me treat it. He made Jimin sit on the couch and sat beside him after bringing the first aid kit. I told you not to work, didn't I? See, you got hurt. He said, applying the gel on his hand. Jimin was staring at him with loving eyes. He didn't hear what Yoongi was saying. All he could just think about Yoongi. Eyes automatically went on Yoongi's lips that were moving as he was saying something which was inaudible to him. Letting his instincts win, Jimin leaned closer to Yoongi's face. Yoongi immediately backed away as soon as he saw Jimin came closer to his lips. What are you doing? He asked him with wide surprised eyes. Cannot I kiss my husband now? Jimin, I made it clear that you don't want any skinships, right? He freed his hand from Yoongi's grip while looking straight in his eyes. Don't need to do it then. It also counts as skinship. I was just treating your wound. This wound is nothing in front of the wounds you're giving me, Yoongi. Can you treat those wounds? I don't know, Yoongi, what's wrong with you? You always said you loved me, but I cannot see it anywhere. I don't know if I couldn't know you or you just changed. It seems like you're not the person I knew. You're something else, someone else. Why are you making me regret that I chose the wrong person? He said, almost tearing up. Yoongi was looking down all the time, like he has nothing to say. Jimin was expecting an answer, but when he didn't get any response, he left from there. Yoongi sat on the couch while grabbing his head down in his hands. You actually chose the wrong person, Jimin. He whispered under his breath. Time skip. Next day. It's lunchtime. Jimin and his friends, Taeyong, Jungkook and Hobi are sitting all together around the table, having lunch while chit-chatting with each other except Jimin. He's lost in his own world. What happened to you, Jimin? Huh? Are you alright? Why this long kiss? Ani Young, it's nothing. Must be thinking about Yoongi Young, right? Ani, stop lying, Young. You're sad because of him. Jimin sighed while looking down on his food. Why don't you try to seduce him, Young? He's my husband, Cook. I don't want to do something like that to get into my own husband's attention. Then talk to him? I don't want to. I thought he loved me, but now I'm feeling the opposite. Now I think maybe I never knew the actual him. Are you sure you loved him? What kind of question is this, Young? Of course I love him. I mean, do you know what he is actually? There's a saying, if you cannot understand him, you cannot love him. I know him, but for 2 years he behaved like that and now he's someone else, someone different. Is it my fault? He didn't show what he's actually. Jimin, it's obvious that you both were in a long distance relationship and then got married. You couldn't get chance to spend time with him. That's why it's all happening now. Whatever, he had enough and now I'll show him what fuck Jimin is. At evening, Yoongi removes his shoes and wears the slippers after entering in the house. He walked in and sees Jimin sitting on the couch watching TV. Without saying anything, he walks in his room to take bath. After a while, he comes back and still Jimin was watching the TV. He didn't notice me. He walks in the kitchen, starts looking for ingredients to prepare the meal. Here, he gets busy cooking and Jimin enters there. He takes a bottle and fills it with water. Yoongi notices him there. Jimin. Jimin doesn't say anything and walks a little, but Yoongi grabs his hand. That makes him stop there. What? He speaks coldly. Dinner is almost ready. Have it. I already had. He frees his hand from Yoongi's grip and walks out of there, making Yoongi confused. Did something happen to him? He asked to himself confusedly. Next morning, Yoongi walks out of the house and drives his car out. He waits for Jimin to come as he drops Jimin every day at his university. He waits for a while, then sees Jimin coming. He gets confused when sees Jimin walking past him. He pulls the gear and calls out Jimin's name, who continues walking. Jimin, are you even listening? What? Get inside the car, you'll get late. My friends will pick me up. You go. Before he could say further, Jimin walks out of there. After a few days passed like this, Yoongi realized that Jimin was ignoring him purposely. Every time he tried to talk to him, Jimin just answered in a hum or a nod. He even stopped having dinner and breakfast with him. But he didn't say anything. And here Jimin was thinking that Yoongi doesn't care whether he ignores him or not. It was making him more upset. He couldn't get what was making Yoongi do this behavior with him. He was preventing himself thinking that Yoongi has an affair with someone else. He didn't want to think that way, but couldn't help receiving that behavior from Yoongi. Yoongi point of view. Should I go and ask him for the dinner? He's been ignoring me for a week. Didn't even spare a glance at me. I know it shouldn't bother me, but I cannot help. I walked towards his room and knocked on it, but he didn't respond. I again knocked, but again didn't get any response. I slowly opened the door and came inside. I gazed around, but he isn't here. Where is he? I walked towards his study table when my eyes fell on a paper on the ground. I bent down and picked that up. My eyes automatically went on the words written on the paper. I love you, Hyun. I felt a different kind of feeling inside my heart. I don't know what is it, but it's not what I should feel. Suddenly I heard the door open. I looked back and my breath hitched as soon as my eyes fell on Jimin. He's standing there half naked, when his bottom is wrapped with a towel. My eyes met with his ones and felt a zoo inside my stomach. His brown eyes are holding cold expressions, but I'm feeling like drowning in them. It's like those eyes know some magic to attract people. Suddenly, I felt he grabbed the paper from my hand. That's when I realized that he came closer and I was lost. What are you doing with it? It fell on the ground. I just picked it up. No need to touch my stuffs. First, wear something. I said, looking away. Wait? Huh? I instantly looked at him. It's my room and my choice whether I roam around in a towel or naked. My voice stuck in my throat. I'm feeling so speechless. I felt he came more closer and it's making my heartbeat beating insanely. I moved back, gulping my own saliva until my torso hit the study table behind me. Gee, why are you sweating, Yoongi? Are you sick? He asked like he doesn't know what he's doing to me. Jimmy moved back. Hey, are you feeling something? But I guess you're a stone, right? You won't feel anything if I stand in front of you. He said and moved back while rolling his eyes. Is he for serious? He's giving me weird feelings and talking shit. I didn't waste more time there and came in my room. Gosh, my nose. What's happening? I checked my nose with my fingers and blood is flowing through it. Shit, I need to clean it. I immediately ran in my bathroom and cleaned my nose. I swear if I'd stayed there for even 1 second, I would have fainted there. He's so bold to do such things. I thought he was shy. I swear I never had this kind of feelings before. I doubt whether I can handle it for too long or not. He isn't that ordinary to handle. Some more days passed, but the things were still similar. Jimin's ignorance and Yoongi's silence was making it more and more difficult and awkward in between them. Yoongi didn't know how to talk to Jimin and work it out easily. His mind was messed up after that night. He didn't know what he was feeling, what he wanted, and at the same time, Jimin's ignorance was killing Yoongi deep inside. Yoongi sat on the couch beside Jimin, who was busy watching TV. I can say he was just pretending like he didn't notice him. Jimin. He snatches the remote from his hand and turns off the TV. Jimin irritatedly looks at him. What's your problem? That's what I want to ask. What's wrong with you? Why are you acting like I don't even exist? I don't have time for your stupid question. Is it stupid to ask you something? Yes, because you never ask or say anything when I ask. No, I don't like. How? Just wow, you're so selfish, Yoongi. You just talk whenever you want. What about me? You know what? Just f*** off. Jimin, mind your language. Then mind your own business. Don't need to talk or say anything. He was about to stand, but Yoongi held his wrist, making him stop there. I cannot understand what you want, Jimmy. You cannot, or you don't want to know. Before I could say anything, he pushed me back on the couch and sat on my lap. I'm shocked and my heart started thumping in an insane pain. I gasped as I looked at him in the eyes. He pinned me on the couch and I can feel his hot breath on my face as we are so close. I'm feeling like my voice is stuck there in my throat when I want to ask him to stand because he is giving me hot sensations. Do you really want to know what I want? Can you give? Listen, Yoongi, I want you. I want your love. I want your attention, your care and everything. As your husband, I'm expecting you to love me. Did you get it now? Yoongi was just staring at him in the eyes, silently listening him. And if you cannot love me as a husband, then better stay away from me and don't even ask what I want and why I'm ignoring you. Just don't ask. He sternly spoke while straightly looking in his eyes. See, you still don't feel anything when I'm this much close to you. He gets off him and stand up there to leave but again says, sometimes I think whether you even loved me or not, or maybe I'm not able to make you feel that way. I don't want to give up on you, but you left no way. He sees and walks out of the living room. Yoongi just sees him leaving from there and closes his eyes. It's not what you're getting, Jimin. It's not the truth. Not even a bit. I don't know how to tell you what I'm feeling for you. Or maybe I'll never be able to say, but it's not the truth. Next day, Jimin sat on the couch and turned on the TV. He glanced at Yoongi, who just came there and sat on the couch beside him at a distance. As it's Sunday today, they both are at home. Jimin. He called his name, but Jimin ignored it like he didn't hear anything. Yoongi sighed internally as he knew Jimin did it purposely. He again called him, but doorbell rang. Without saying anything, Jimin stood and left towards the door. Yoongi confusedly looked at him. He heard Jimin's laughter and frowned. Being curious, he stood and walked to see who came. And here Jimin hugged Taeyong, Jungkook and then Hobi. He welcomed them. Hi Young. Hi Taeyong. Hi Jungkook. Hello Young. Did we disturb you? Before Yoongi could say anything, Jimin spoke. Anya, I was just waiting for you all. Go and sit there. They headed towards the living room and sat there. Meet Jungkook, a close friend. You maybe don't know him as he joined the college last year. Oh, hi Hosuk. Hi Young. Well, you can call me Hobby instead. He spoke with a soft smile. Yoongi nodded with a smile and excused himself from there in the kitchen. You didn't inform me about the arrival. Do I need to ask for your permission to call my friends over? I mean, that's not what I mean. I don't want to know what you meant. He says and leaves with the tray to living room. Have some juice, guys. Thanks, I needed it anyways. He grabbed one glass with his white smile, making Jimin chuckle. Are you tired? Anu, I'm feeling refreshed now. After seeing your Jiminy, you always feel refreshed, don't you? What does he mean he's Jiminy? But Yoongi is already also in shine. He sat sitting there beside Hobby while giggling. You enjoy, I'm leaving. Why Young? Just stay here with us. We are meeting after so long. Thai, don't force him. He loves to spend time alone. Alone with you? He said in almost a teasing tone. Yoonmin looked at each other in the eyes but immediately looked away. I'm in my room. If need anything then call me. He said and immediately left. Jimin looked at Taeyong with raised eyebrow. What? Was that needed when you know? I just wanted him to think that way. Would it change anything? Cool down guys. We came to spend time together. Did you forget? Yoongi sat on the couch in his room. What was that? Why I'm feeling this way? I cannot feel jealous over this thing. And I should not. It's true that I don't like spending time with others that much, but he shouldn't have said that. It's bothering me. After some time, Young, stop it. My stomach is ashing now. You should laugh more, Jimina. Okay, now stop it. My eyes started shedding tears now. Young, he will fall off the couch if you didn't stop. Jimin's crush. You dare to say that. It's true though. Jimin's forever crush. Sure, right? You buddy. He throws a pillow on him that directly lands on Jungkook's face. He picks up another pillow and throws it on Jimin. And like this, they start a pillow fight with each other. While fighting, Jimin falls on top of Hobby, who grabs his waist securely. Then Yoongi comes there and witnesses them like that. Jungkook sees Yoongi standing there like a statue, eyes fixed on Hobby and Jimin. Pillows slip out of their hands and fall on the ground. Jimin immediately gets off Hobby as soon as his eyes fall on Yoongi. Hobby too stands up and adjusts his clothes. An awkward silence fills the place. It's nothing like that, but you all will have for dinner. He says, cutting his words off in between. They look at each other with a mysterious gaze. Jimin once looks at Hobby, then at Yoongi. He doesn't know what he should say or react. Yoongi is seeming calm, but his eyes are speaking a lot, and it's making Jimin girl. I asked something. Whatever you like, Hyun. As he says, Yoongi leads towards the kitchen. Jimin also leaves behind him, excusing himself. Did you see that? He says in a low voice. He was jealous. Should we do something like that? Maybe it can work? What you two are whispering? They all sat on the couch again. Why don't we make him jealous? Jealous? Yes, maybe it can work. But how? He looks at them confusedly when they both look at him with a suspicious smile. Hobie understands and wide his eyes. No way, guys. I'm out of this. Please, Young, please. Won't you do it for Jimin? Did you see how scary he was looking when he saw us like that? No, guys, I cannot do that. Young, you just have to pretend like you have something with Jimin. He will surely eat me alive this time. Don't worry, Young. We are here. We won't let that happen. I'm a dead meat, guys. Jimin walks beside Yoongi and calls him. Young, it's not the way you saw. We can talk about it later. He says as he focuses on his work. But I won't. You can go and enjoy if you want. I can handle here. I just want to be with you. He says the last sentence slowly. That was inaudible to Yoongi. After some time, Yoongi and Jimin set the table with food and asked others to come there. Taekook sat beside each other. Jimin sat in front of them. Yoongi pulled out the chair and was about to sit beside Jimin. But Hobie sat there. Yoongi clenched his jaw and sat on the other side with an irritated look. He was trying to not show his emotions, but his eyes were enough to say. Taekook gave thumbs up to each other secretly and looked at Hobie, who also glanced at them. Harim gave a little nod, indicating Hobie to do something. They all served in their plates and started eating. Here, Jimina, you should eat some veggies too. He took some vegetables with his chopsticks and put them in Jimin's bowl. I'm already eating so much now, he said with a nervous smile because he can sense Yoongi's gaze on them. I know, but you should take care of yourself. You are looking pale these days. I want my chubby Jimin back. Jimin was trying to act normal and understand what Hobie doing all of a sudden. Hobie put his chopsticks in his bowl and stuffed Jimin's mouth with food. He gave his sunshine smile and started eating. Jimin somehow swallowed his food down to his throat. He looked at Taekook, who were busy eating their food, ignoring what's happening around them. He sensed something like it was their plan to do it, but it was not his prior thought. He secretly glanced at Yoongi and noticed his moves that were showing he was irritated. He was just thinking what he will explain to him about this all happened. First he saw Hobie and him in an awkward position and now these things. Timescape. Jimin bid a bye to Taekook and Hobie as they left. He looked beside where Yoongi was standing. Without any word, Yoongi walked inside the house and Jimin followed him. Yoongi. He called his name but Yoongi didn't answer. He directly went in his room. Jimin sighed deeply before going behind him and entered in his room. Yoongi, can we talk? I'm asking you, not the ghost, Yoongi. What? I want to clear everything so that you won't be misunderstanding me. I'm not. Then why behaving like this? Then how should I behave? I know you were jealous. I wasn't. It's clear in your eyes, then why are you lying? I'm not. And I wasn't jealous. I don't want to know if you did that intentionally or not, but it's a waste of time, he said coldly. Seriously? Are you referring my efforts and feelings are waste? His eyes went down, hearing Yoongi's statement. Would you like to see me with someone else? It's not like that, Jimin. You're getting it wrong. What I'm getting wrong, Yoongi? Just clear it. What I'm getting wrong? Your statements or your emotions that are clear in your eyes? Just tell me for God's sake, Yoongi, he said with a cracked voice. Then some tears left his eyes. I'm sick of it, Yoongi. Just tell me what I need to do more to have you as my husband. Husbands are fine, Yoongi. We are not even friends. I think I'm the wrong giving efforts in this relation, Yoongi, he said while wiping his tears off his cheeks and turned to leave. But Yoongi grabs his wrist softly. Don't get it wrong, Jimin. Jimin faced him again and spoke. What I'm getting wrong, Yoongi? Can you explain? Yoongi made Jimin sit on the bed and sat beside him. He wiped his tears off his cheeks softly and spoke. It's nothing like I don't care about you, Jimin, but I want some time. We already love each other, then why? Jimina. He softly cupped his face in his one hand and caressed his cheeks with his thumb. Can we start as friends? Wait. Don't you think we need to be comfortable and understanding around each other as friends first? If that's so, then why did you say it earlier? When you were pushing me away? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not having a conversation with you. I'm really sorry to hurt you. He spoke softly as if he was talking to a kid. Then promise you won't behave like a dog to me. I'll try. Still try. It's okay. So, as your friends now, can I sleep with you? He looked at Jimin with surprised eyes. Jimin struggled finding Yoongi in that state. I mean, can we sleep beside each other as friends? Like sleep over with a friend? But please, he asked with his puppy eyes, making a pout. I cursed under my breath, looking at his pout. For a moment, I just wanted to capture his lips in mine. What the fuck I'm thinking? I internally sighed as my eyes met with his once again. Okay, fine, but don't cling on me. As I said, he immediately jumped on the bed like an excited puppy. I'll try, he said and laid on the bed while smiling. I cannot believe, is he for real? Just some minutes ago he was crying and now smiling. Time skipped next morning. Yoongi slowly opened his eyes and found no one beside him. His ears caught a humming sound. He turned his gaze around and found Jimin standing in front of the wardrobe. He sat there on the bed. Jimin? Good morning, Yoongi. He said, still back facing him. Morning. What are you doing? Setting my clothes in your wardrobe. Where? He asked surprisedly. Now when we'll be staying together in a room, so I thought of setting my things here. Huh? He turned after setting his clothes there and closed the wardrobe. But I didn't come out after freshening up. I'm going to prepare breakfast. Later we need to leave, okay? He said, not letting Yoongi complete his words, and walked out. Yoongi was stunned by Jimin's this behavior, but he couldn't deny that he felt good seeing Jimin smile after so long. Time skipped in college. Jimin is sitting with his friends around the table in cafeteria as they are having lunch. You're seeming happy, Jimin. Did something happen in between you and him? Huh? Ani, what would happen? I mean, did he confess us something? I knew it was your plan to do such things. I didn't want to, but they forced me, Jimin. But seems like it worked. He said it was a waste to do such things. What? But he was jealous, I guess. He wasn't. That's what he said. Anyone could say he was jealous. But he isn't ready to accept. But I'm happy because he said we can start as friends. Really? He nodded with a soft smile. That's good, I guess. I think. His words cut off when they heard a noise behind. They all looked and found Brian and some other students standing there. Here we go again, Young. Maybe they're bullying your crush. What's the problem with them? Young, go and help her. Huh? Go and save her. And if you want, then I'll go. Would you be okay with that? I know. I just don't want her to feel that you pity her. Then why don't you show that you love her? Go, Young. He pushed Hobie, making him stand. Hobie walked towards them. Do you think he will confess? To him, taking stand for is enough. Young is really slow. Here, Hobie stood behind those students and asked, what's happening here? As soon as he spoke, they all looked at him along with Brian. That's not your matter, Hosok. If it's about her, then I'm involved. Hosok, she said in a low voice, like pleading him to not say anything. What's your problem with her? That's our question. What's her problem? Did I bother you in any way? Yes, you bother us in every way. The topper nod and act like you're cool. So her intelligence is your problem. And why are you interested in her? You want to know why, huh? He said, looking at him with a frown. Hobie went near Brian and held her hand while intertwining them. Brian looked at him with wide, surprised eyes, so do the others. Listen carefully everyone. I, Jungkook, announced that Kim Wan is my girlfriend and if anyone mess with her, they'll have to deal with me. Got it?